Hello everyone, this is Cece with our 7th episode of Raw Honey, and now that I feel like I've looked back on all the times I've said I'm really excited, I want to use a different word. Thrilled. I'm thrilled to be back and to have another super fun life experience that led me to another tool, I would say, that I've probably learned, but sort of using the tool, shaping it into what I need, what works for me. And yeah, just another life just gives me a lot of those tools, or a lot of those opportunities to find the tools. So thank you, life, for that. And I have used it. I think I did a good job. So I'm really excited to tell you guys about this. I was super eager to do the podcast a couple days earlier, but I was like, no. I need, because I was going to break it up into 3 parts based on this. This story sort of has 3 parts to it. So I was going to break it up and I'm going to document like the first part and then the middle and then the end. And I was like, no, I want to put it all together and I want to present it in like this is what I learned epiphany moment way. But maybe in the future, maybe I'll do a step-by-step one. But yeah, I'm trying to only put out like 2 shows a week right now. So I don't want to overwhelm myself. Some things are meant just for me to hear and not, everyone on Facebook and every, all my fans on my podcast, Podbean, my mom, my sister, those are my 2 followers on that thing. So thank you guys for supporting me. Okay, so this is a super, not a crazy thing, total normal, like female-ism. Females have to get, I think they call them wellness checks. I'm trying to think of the PG way to say this. Sure, wellness check, pelvic exam, putting it all out there, not ashamed. I'm a female, I have periods, if people didn't know. And along with these body parts, we have to get pelvic exams, and super necessary. Not going to antagonize them at all for their purpose. But I think the process has been historically difficult for me. Part of that's because of some of the trauma that I've experienced in my life and in my relationships. But the other part of that is it's just a very vulnerable thing, and I think it's been normalized. Just like you're a woman, you have this period, and you have what is it? Not PMCS. you have, God, is it PMS? PMSing? I don't frequently use that term, so I'm not even sure. PMSing and cramps, and it sucks, and there's all this like really negative energy, but like normalization of like an intense amount of suffering at the same time. So you sort of just like assume everything's gonna suck, which maybe works for some people, but for me, when I'm being like very hyper aware of my emotions and my how I can get on the preventative side, how I can get comfortable with health and with necessary discomforts, and why I'm uncomfortable. Like I'm very intuitive in that way, and I want to break down each and every, I want to slice it all and understand how to be on the offensive. How can I love this? How can I win, a little bit of competitiveness in me when it comes to that. But I really just want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be happy, and I want to be healthy. And so some maintaining your health isn't always, it's not always super comfortable. So, but how can you control, do what you need to do to make you feel safe. And so my original reaction to needing one of these, I think you need one every 3 years. I don't know, but I was really triggered. I was really afraid. I kind of turned. Sorry, I've been talking really fast. I'm gonna slow it down. Okay, then I turned from like afraid to just straight up angry. I was just like, called my sister, and I was like, doctors don't care about us, and no one cares. They just want us to be convenient, just like all guys do. And I was just like super angry, just super angry at the institution, at the processes, at rape culture, at all these things. And you know, I don't necessarily think I was wrong about those things in my experience, but it didn't really make me feel any better. And it didn't make this exam go away. It didn't make this exam less necessary. And I was like, okay, let's take it back. Let's call and see how I can see like what these professionals how they can work with me and work with my intense anxiety about this. So I called them, and they were like, okay, we can schedule a consult, or would you be interested in a consult? And I think I may have actually asked them for a consult. I don't remember, but either way, we came to the conclusion of a consult with a female doctor that I actually knew. And I was like, yeah, like I felt really positive after that, because I was like, you know, I just want to talk to this person. Like I do, and this was me anticipating the anxiety that I was going to feel if I was to combine that consult into the same day as the procedure, because it's like, if we do it on the same day, I can anticipate myself feeling really pressured by, speed it up, you're taking all of this person's time, they have these appointments, they're professionals, they're trying to like help people who are dying here, and you're waiting them up, and like all that guilt and shame and stuff from you know, trauma that happens completely normally, but I'm, you know, being not completely over it. I don't know if you ever really are. You know, you have to know your triggers, and you have to help. I was like, how am I gonna anticipate this and make myself feel safe from this? So doing this consult was really helpful, and we just had this incredible conversation about everything from, I mean, I would say only like 20% of it even revolved around the procedure and around what I've been through. It was so much more just like, let's get to know each other, because this is an intimate process. These are sacred body parts. They are important to us. They do a lot of things for us, and they create life. There's so much there. And to just blindly, vulnerably let someone examine that is hard. It's hard. And I think a lot of women just are like normalized to it, and it sucks, and they're like, oh, it just sucks. But some women that have been, you know, hurt before by either in that situation, like physically hurt, or hurt by a partner, or something happened, you know, trauma, you don't really have that same luxury anymore to just be blind to it. You're hyper aware, and it sucks to be hyper aware, but that's just the hand that you have to deal with. So yeah, we had an incredible conversation about, and I listed a couple very specific things I would like to see that weren't, they weren't like me telling her I had more medical advice, but it was like, hey, you know, this would make me a little more comfortable. Can I wear this certain top? Because being in the military, you know, uniforms matter. Can I bring my mala beads with me, which are some meditation yoga beads? Can I bring my incense? My essential oils, and I brought, I ended up bringing frankincense, definitely an acquired smell, but it really calms me down. Something about it, I don't know, it's very wholesome, it's very like it's kind of spicy in a way, but I really vibe with that. So, which there may be some like biblical allusions there. My sister was like, oh, frankincense, you know, that's what the wise men brought. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not the only use of frankincense, but that's probably the one everyone knows. But yes, there's maybe a biblical allusion there, but yes. So just a couple of things that I knew were going to help me feel comfortable. And she was like, yes, of course, like you can do all of those things. And then we talked about some like specifics of the procedure that I kind of wanted to see if was a possibility. And she's like, yes, I always, like, that's what I always do with my patients. And yeah, so I was like, I left that room and I was like, I am ready to go. Like, bring it on. I can do anything. I can do this. And I was honestly, I was excited to get more, to like talk to this girl some more. I was like, I want to know her more. She's super cool. And I mean, I don't want our only interactions to be this public exam, but yeah, she understood me, and I really appreciated that. But I think because I told her straight up like who I am and what I need, and yeah, it just became a multiple choice list instead of like this needs to happen, do this, blank blank blank. It just like, no, I need more multiple choices here. Even if I only have one choice because you're the doctor, I need to feel like I have some choices here, because that's what's difficult for me. That lack of control. I'm not over that yet. So yes, okay. So on the day, it finally came, and it was hard because I had an appointment before that, and I had to do a certain test that like makes me really anxious, because you're in this room and you're like, it's a hearing test. You have to listen in these really hard headphones, and it's just like everyone's breathing, and your heart rate and your breathing sounds like sirens in this room, and it's like, and you have to listen. They're like, even if it's really faint, push the button. And I'm like, I'm gonna go crazy in here. I'm hearing voices. I wasn't hearing voices, but I was hearing everything, and I was hearing like distant rings of the ring, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the ring or if that's the echo ring. And yeah, I was super anxious after that. The frankincense was not working at all in that room, and I couldn't get it out of my pocket because I wasn't allowed to move. It was just, yeah, it was a mess. But that will be a different video if any of you have serious anxiety about hearing exams, because I may need to do a video about that one. But going back to the day, that was before. So I was pretty anxious, and you're having a mask on. Wearing a mask, definitely an acquired feeling to be comfortable with it. So I am not completely there yet, especially not when I'm having to do like a test with the mask on. That was really difficult. So I was feeling like really anxious. But I breathed in some of my frankincense, and I did a couple deep breaths, and I went in the room, had a really good talk with her, and we walked through the exam just completely step by step. And I think the most I don't think I ever really told her that I needed this, but I think she's just intuitive of it, is there was like a lot of affirmation in the exam, and not of like cosmetic affirmation, but affirmation of like things are like, it's very healthy, like we're seeing great, this is great, these are great signs, everything is lining up really well. And she just, I mean, it's such an interesting, because like who compliments you during an exam like that? Like, it's very interesting. And I feel like we're not given a lot of praise when it comes to our parts. There's a lot of shame there. There's a lot of layers there. And I think it's turning around with like feminist movements, but I would say institutionally, I don't know if all the institutions have gotten to that point. So that was just, I mean, not that I went in there for affirmation, but I thought that was incredible. And I think I would like to ask my next person, if it's not her, like, could you tell me, be positive about it? Because there's a lot there, and what you say, it means a lot to me. So if you're going to tell me something is infected or inflamed, those are really intense words to use about that area of the female body. It's very sensitive and vulnerable and fragile. So for a lot of women, even if they don't think it is, and men, I'm sure too. But yeah, I thought that was really cool, and just talk through every step of the way. So much affirmation, so much like, so proud of you. This is huge that you've been able to do this. This is a huge step. And I was like, yes. Like it was like winning a race or something. I don't even know, but that was a monumental step in my progression. But not just my progression, but I think honestly in my acceptance and embracement, I don't know if that's a word, embracing of femininity. So I was really an embracing of the upkeep and the medical upkeep that it takes to be healthy and to live, to have children if that's what you're interested in, or which I am. And just to be a woman and to be upkeeping your health and be preventative, like that was a hurdle I was really afraid to go down, and I feel like really safe doing it now. And not just because that doctor was great, but because I think I found ways to create safety for myself, and that was the consult or the initial call of, is there a female available? The consult with the female. And then the actual procedure and being able to bring my own stuff in and also talk. I think most of it happened during the consult. She kind of did the rest, but yeah, so the consult was the agency, and then bringing my own stuff in was during the exam was actually really great too. So it was, all in all, I feel like no one talks about these experiences as good, and I'm not saying it's like, hey, let's do this every day, but I know that it needs to happen. It's part of health. It's part of female health, and I know that I can do it, and I know that it's necessary, and I appreciate it. So I wouldn't say I'm like, yeah, let's go, this is great. Like I love therapy, so I definitely say that when I get to go to therapy. But this one, I'm probably never gonna be like jumping up and down, like a dental hygiene, cleaning. I hate those two. Don't hate them, but similar field for me as this is. But I'm like, I need this. This is important. I can do this, and there is a way to make it okay. There's a way to make it professional and safe, and I think that is something every woman deserves and is entitled to. But a lot of the times you have to realize it comes from within you, and you have so much agency and control to create the environment that you want to see, and you can change the world and change institutions from your own mind and your own actions. And I feel like being on that side of it, on the side you can control and you can change, is really strong. Because to be just like yelling up a storm like they do this and blah blah blah, like maybe that helps at the beginning, but that energy it's just heavy. It's just heavy, and it doesn't seem to make anything better for me. So totally just my experience though, guys. So if you are like, no, that's all wrong, great. Whatever works for you. If you go into these exams and you're like, hell yeah, I can do this. This is whatever, like, then great. But some of those other populations that have lost control and have some trauma, whether it's sexually related or whether it's something else, here's a tool, and I hope that it helps. So yes, and before I go, I have just so you guys know, I'm putting it on YouTube as well as on Spotify, and I think it's on a couple other podcast apps too, but I'm super not tracking which ones right now. I think Amazon, but some of the others require really specific things that I'm like, it's been researching how to do a podcast. Someone said it was easy. Whoever said it was easy lied. It's not easy, but it's worth it if you're interested in that. But I have a dear friend, one of my best friends in the world, who has an incredible, I want to say her art. She's an artist. It's not her main job, but she has like just this incredible gift for it, because I don't want to say it's a hobby, because it's way more than a hobby. It is a calling for her. She is like a soul artist, if that makes sense. She just has, she's been doing a lot of political art lately, political advocacy, but the way that she portrays these things is just in such beauty and in such light, and it's just incredible. So she actually designed the art for this podcast, Raw Honey. She designed that art, and I bought a couple other stickers from her, but her most recent ones that are coming out are her Ruth Bader Ginsburg sticker and a sticker that says I voted. So I haven't seen those yet, but I'm gonna put her Instagram page in the show notes, and you guys can reach out to her that way, either DMing her or texting her. I actually am gonna put her number down below. She's comfortable with that as of now, even though I'm like, girl, you're gonna be famous, so manage to change your number. She's too humble to think in that realm right now, which I love about her. And her prices right now for a typical sticker, it's about yay big, if y'all are on my YouTube and you see it. If you're not on YouTube and you're on Spotify, I would say it's about the size, God, I want to say quarter, but it's way bigger than that. Like, if you were to line up this many quarters next to each other, I'm thinking like 2.5 inches wide. It's circle, so yes, the diameter is like 2.5 inches. Should have measured that before I got on the show, but I didn't. So I'm sorry, Ella, totally not a good representation of the size, but awesome. Look in the show notes for her Instagram handle and all of her work. If you, one of those sizes though, that's what I was trying to say. I'm like, where was I going with that? The size is this is the main size she has, that like 3 inches wide size. And that size is $4. And if you buy it in bulk, which I believe is like 20 or more, she will lower the price to $3. So yes, super awesome, super great price. I bought a ton of stickers from her. I passed them out to a lot of people because it's a beautiful way to express and just appreciate different political movements that are happening. And yeah, so I hope everyone has a great night. I will also link my DoTerra website below, since I talked about frankincense a lot. Totally saved my life today. And I got the new Pursue kit today. Amazing. I don't know if you guys are super big doTERRA followers, but that kit, definitely getting your money's worth. There was a huge amount of products in there, and I haven't thoroughly gone through all of them, but I used about 6 of them today, so it was pretty fun. But yeah, I'll put that in the show notes. But I hope you guys have a great night, and you have a great weekend. And I will see you next time.